ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 195 of the Focus TV. We are getting up there. Things did not slow down during this pandemic. As always, we're welcomed by Octavia Wyatt, Raymond Lyons, Cardell Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpey Jr. Once again, welcome to the Focus TV. For tonight, we got quite a bit to talk about. We're going to kick things off talking about the Super Bowl. Let Octavia get into that. We got an NBA segment. Ray's going to fill you guys in on the latest with the Wizards. Cardell has some G League news for you, some GW and Maryland women's hoops. What else we got for you guys? 9-4-50, of course. WNBA free agency, because, you know, things are official now. A lot of rumors, a lot of noise has been made in maybe the last week or so, but stuff is officially official. We'll have some rapid fire for you guys as well, but let's start with Octavia with the Super Bowl preview. Floor is yours.
Well, I don't know if anybody watched the Pro Bowl or whatever they did on Sunday. I didn't, so I just wanted to say that. I don't know why they have it, but they do. But I mean, if you don't know by now, I don't know where you've been. The Super Bowl is this Sunday. A lot of people did not think we would get to this point in a pandemic, but we have officially made it to Super Bowl week. Again, it is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom's terrific. My homies and the boys. I don't really have too much to talk about. It's just I'm ready for the games to be here. I know we've talked about some of the crazy things about this being the first time ever a team has been able to host a Super Bowl. And of course, Tom Brady is that quarterback that gets to do that and be that first. Another crazy thing, the Chiefs won't even be in Tampa Bay until a day before COVID. You can go ahead and blame it on that, I would guess. Of course, they don't want to take the chance because as of now, if anybody does get any COVID-related tests and have to sit out, they are sitting out of the game. Ever since a couple of days ago, whenever you test positive at all and you have to sit out, it's sitting out for the 10 days would get you out of Super Bowl 55. But yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to see the game. You know, I've already kind of made up my mind who's going to win, but you never know. And I never want to say it completely out loud because you don't really go against Tom. But when you have Mahomes, it is a good bet as well. Of reports that are also saying that Mahomes needs to win this game to solidify his legacy. I don't know why people are saying that, or the legacy of Tom Brady. I don't know why people are saying that either. But these are things that people say. To me, Mahomes is going to be good either way. But that thought, like, I'm just really ready to see the game because, again, I did not think we would actually get here when we started the season with all of the postponements that we had. We didn't even know if they were going to be able to continue. Commercials that come up with, whatever happens. I'm just ready for the game.
Yeah, I know a lot of people
having
ready for the
technical
game.
difficulties. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Okay.
Yeah, we can still hear you. Hey, look, the technology.
Yeah, I keep freezing.
It's been a joy, a true joy. But Cardell and Ray, just want to get your guys' quick thoughts on, the big game real quick before we move on, obviously.
Go ahead, Ray. I'll go with you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just looking forward to a good game, man. It's got a lot of storylines working here, of course, with the first time a team has played a Super Bowl in their home stadium, like Octavia has mentioned. You got Tom at 43 years old playing in the Super Bowl. Of course, Patrick Mahomes, just a dynamic talent. Yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to seeing how Tampa Bay is going to try to nullify that high-powered offense. And I really think that's what it's going to come down to. They're going to have to get stops to win because I don't see them winning the shootout. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, man, it's good to just be able to watch with no strings attached. I feel bad for all the Chiefs and Buccaneers fans. But yeah, more power to them. I guess it's a good problem to have, rooting for your team in the Super Bowl. But yeah, man, like I said, just excited to see a good game. Excited to see, Byron Leftwich coaching the Super Bowl. Of course, homegrown talent from H.D. Woodson that had a great career at Marshall and in the NFL as well. We get to see some awesome Black coordinators on both teams. Of course, Eric Bieniemy with the Chiefs. And hopefully this will add more fuel to that conversation about seeing minorities in head coaching positions. I think with them not being able to have the traditional media week leading up to the Super Bowl, I still think that needs to be a pervasive element in all coverage, leading up to the game and post game. But nevertheless, just looking to see some good football. I'm excited. Like Octavia said, I wasn't sure if we make it, with just COVID running rampant throughout the country, and just the nature of football with all the travel and those large rosters. I wasn't sure if the NFL was going to be able to survive the season, but they did it. We're here, and just looking forward to a good game.
Cardell.
Yeah, like Octavia said, I just think it'd BS that this game would define Patrick Mahomes as a player in his career already. But people need storylines, man. You know how it is. They just jump to the extreme with their storylines to get some notoriety and buzz. But as much as it pains me to say, obviously I can't stand the Chiefs being a Broncos fan, but you gotta be objective. They on their game. I just can't see the Bucs beating them. They're strong at all three levels. As far as special teams, we already know they do offensively, and defense is solid enough to carry the load. And obviously, with the Bucs, with them not even knowing what they're going to get with Antonio Brown, Jordan Whitehead, and Winfield Jr., they need all the weapons they could get because against the Chiefs, it's not enough to. Well, you're not going to stop them, but you're going to have to put up points. You're going to have to score. It's not one of those games where, it could be a defensive battle. It's just not going to happen with the Chiefs unless a couple players go down that we're not expecting, and that can happen. But everybody full strength. You got to favor the Chiefs, especially with them, back-to-back, the experience. I know Tom Brady's experience, but the rest of those guys, they haven't been there before. So, it's just going to be different, man. But, I'm going to definitely keep it in the AFC West and go with the Chiefs.
I think everybody knows where I stand from last week.
Last week.
I took a whole week to reflect and, 50. Put 50 up. I have no respect for Tampa Bay's defense. I don't think they have the requisite team speed to deal with them as a whole. If Green Bay's defense, which is trying to find a nice way to say it, not very good, gave you issues, Kansas City's corners actually can lock up. They're actually physical. And again, you were playing 500 back there throwing picks to a really bad Green Bay defense. Like, they're really not that good on that side. And they had y'all flummoxed for a little while. Kansas City's DBs, as a whole, they're not very big. There's not a whole, but not that they're not very big. In terms of publicity, everybody might not know who they have back there outside of Honey Badger on the back end. Juan Thornhill is a dog. They have really good Bashawn Breeland, physical corners who like to compete. There's only one Mike Evans on Tampa Bay. everybody else on Tampa Bay, I hope y'all like having hands on you. It's just going to look, man. I feel like there's been so much disrespect put on the Chiefs defense that I don't understand it, because I know the offense is great, but you still got to get stops. They routinely find a way to get timely stops over and over and over again. Like whether it comes in the second quarter or the fourth quarter, all I know, death, taxes, Chris Jones going to make a big play in the fourth quarter for the Chiefs. So it's Honey Badger. Doesn't matter. That's what he does. He's going to he's going to squat somebody's pass on the line of scrimmage and things happen. But like Cardell said, even with everybody full strength, man, he knows that's this conference for the team that he roots for. The team speed over there, man, it's not the same. It's not comparable. I don't think people truly understand the type of speed you're about to see. You know, when people be like, oh, man, it's not a big difference between 4.3 and 4.4. You're going to find out on Sunday. It's going to be dudes who think they run a 4.4. Nah, bro, you a 4.6. The dude who left you 2 steps into a 9 yard into a go route, that's a 4.
Like him 4.4.
Yeah, him 4.4. Not so much. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think that's just where I'm at it. I'm not saying Tampa Bay doesn't have a chance. It's cool, but I feel like if Tom wasn't on Tampa Bay, people be a little bit more open-minded about what this could really be. People would just real nostalgic and giving him reverence, Tom, and it's a cool story, but I'm not here for the story.
They wouldn't even be there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I was like, they wouldn't even be there if Tom wasn't there.
They'd be the Packers.
They still probably back there with Winston or somebody throwing away the ball.
Oh, shoot.
I mean, let me chill.
My bad.
Nah, you good. I'm good. I'm taking the high road today. I'm gonna do good for this week. Next week we'll see. If them folks get near 50, I'm acting a whole fool next week. So if you're a Bucs fan, hope your defense does what it needs to do. I'm going to be unbearable next week.
Go ahead and say 55 for Super Bowl 55.
Nah. See, that's you. I didn't say nothing like that. You're being very rude, ma'am. I said nothing to it. But Octavia, did you have anything?
5 more points is rude. 5 more points is rude, right? Me adding 5 more to the 50 you already gave him is rude. No, I'm sorry, but I was having technical difficulties. But no, I mean, like you said, you guys kind of wrapped it all up. We're all on the same page. The Chiefs. Yeah, I'm good. I just hope it's at least competitive. I don't want to see a blowout in the Super Bowl, but I'm not. I won't be surprised if it is, but I just hope it's at least competitive.
Okay. Can somebody hire Eric so I can be at peace? That's all I want. Help me out.
Again, I'm gonna be an adult. Ray was petty this past week. Ray was so petty this past week, but yeah, there's a way to weaken them, folks. Hire him. There's a whole way to weaken him. Hire him. My team was bad this year. Solid's taking half the coaching staff with him. You know that's what happens when you hire people's coordinators, right? They got to divvy up staffs. Y'all can play the best defense off the field ever. Cardell told y'all that's the blueprint. It could be a blow they don't recover from, but shout out to you guys, Great job, NFL. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, Raymond, Cardell, Wizards, G League, you're watching the Focus TV. Welcome back to the Focus TV. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Raymond, the floor is yours. What's the latest with the Wizards, man? I heard some type of buzz the other night. Some crazy thing happened at the end of the game. So you fill us in real quick.
Oh man, our friendly neighborhood basketball team. They pulled out a shocker Sunday night. They beat the Nets. I'm sure everybody's heard by now, but it was a wild finish to that game. They were down by 5 with 12 seconds left. And, Brad Bill walks into a 3. Then on the ensuing inbound, Joe Harris throws the ball away. Garrison Matthews gets it, tosses it back to Russell Westbrook for the ultimately the game winning shot. It was a much needed win for them, man. It's been bleak for for a minute here. But they came out sluggish to begin the game with the starters, but that second unit came in and really pushed the tempo and turned things around. And then the energy just lasted throughout the game. I was good to see Russ looking like himself again. He's been battling through a lot, and it seems like he's in a good place mentally and physically right now. So that's definitely some positive news moving forward. Of course, a lot of rumors have been circulating about Brad Bill's desire to be in Washington or not, but we're only going to listen to viable sources here, and all those point to Bradley Beal still wanting to remain with the team. So that's what we're going to roll with, and not made up headlines. But they're in action as we speak against the Portland Trail Blazers. About 4 minutes into that game, they're down early, 13-7. Hopefully they can maintain some of the energy from the other night. They're going to need it. Dame is not to be played with. So yeah, man, we're going to see how they fare tonight. But it's just good to have some good news regarding this basketball team. And you never know, this could springboard into some type of consistency moving forward. We're not expecting them to go on a 30-game winning streak or anything like that, but we are looking for them to markedly improve. And then it's just some things that need to be cleaned up, especially on the defensive end. There were some guys that gave great individual effort, but as a team, they're still not cohesive on that side of the floor. And you're going to need to shore those things up if they plan to be competitive moving forward. But yeah, we'll see how things go tonight, and hopefully they can make it 2 in a row.
Go ahead, say it, Octavia. Go ahead.
I was like, any night but tonight, though. But that's okay.
Y'all forgot who was on that side.
I did it.
That Portland side.
I did it. I was trying to see if we were going to get out without her mentioning it.
You're not. I have officially crossed over.
Go ahead, Cardell.
All right. Got some G League news. They tip off February 10th, which will be about next week. They released their game and telecast schedule for 2021 play. They will tip off Wednesday. The full 135 game schedule will be played at ESPN Wide World of Sports at Walt Disney World Resort near Orlando, Florida. It's 18 teams, including 17 NBA G League teams and the NBA G League Ignite team. I'll talk a little bit more about that team. They will each play 15 games from February 10th to March 6th. The top 8 teams will advance to a single elimination playoff, which will begin on March 8th and conclude with the NBA G final presented by YouTube TV on March 11th. The 2021 competition tips off when the NBA G League Ignite, the recently launched team for NBA draft eligible players. Those are the players that came out of high school, taking a year to develop for the Ignite team. Then they'll be eligible for the draft. Makes his debut against NBA veteran Jeremy Lin and the Santa Cruz Warriors on February 10th at 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. So, yeah, if you're not at work, want to see some basketball early, there you go. The first day of play continues with 10 other NBA G League teams facing off and 5 additional games. G League Ignite. More on that. As I said, it's the first of its kind team. It's dedicated to developing top young prospects in preparation for the 2021 NBA draft. They're based out of Walnut Creek, California, and they're coached by 5-time NBA champion Brian Shaw. The roster includes elite players who are eligible for the 2021 NBA draft, as well as NBA and NBA G League veterans who serve as mentors to the team's young talent. One guy they just picked up is a local guy, Jerry Jack. He's on that team, so he'll be good for those guys. Obviously, he played a long time in the league, was a very solid vet, so they can learn a lot from him if they're open. The 1-year program focuses on high-level competition and accelerated on-court development for players who are beginning their professional careers. Additionally, the team provides life skills training that includes financial literacy, education, community service involvement, and scholarship opportunities. While the Ignite is not a traditional NBA G League team, competition includes games against NBA G League opponents and exhibitions against international teams. The players on this team, obviously, I just said it would be coached by Brian Shaw, 5-time champion. It will include 6'6" Jalen Green, 6'8" Jonathan Kumunga, 6'10" Isaiah Todd, Baltimore native, 6'5" point guard Deshaun Nix, and 7'2" Philippine prospect Kai Soto. And they will make their debut Wednesday, February 10th against the Santa Cruz Warriors. To round off, I guess, the first few games they're going to play after the Warriors, they will play Friday, February 12th against Oklahoma City Blues, Saturday the 13th against the Raptors 905, Monday the 15th against the Iowa Wolves, Wednesday the 17th against the Erie Bayhawks. That will be a game for everybody around here to kind of pay attention to because it's some G League affiliates from the Go-Go. They're not having a full team, but the Wizards did send some guys to play for the Bayhawks that would have played for the Go-Go. So keep an eye on those guys based on how they play. And with the injuries and stuff that's been going on with the Wizards, you may see them get called up sooner than later. February 18th, the Westchester Knicks, the Ignite play them. The 21st, Greensboro Swarm. The 22nd, Long Island Nets. The 24th, Memphis Hustle. 26th, Salt Lake City Stars. The 27th, the Canton Charge. March 1st, Delaware Blue Coats. March 3rd, Agua Caliente Clippers. March 4th, the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. And March 6th, Austin Spurs. And that is it for the G League. I have more as they begin their season.
All right, we're gonna move on to college basketball. You want to start with GW? You want me to start with the Terps?
Yeah, let me go ahead and get on that real quick. GW fell to BCU. GW Women's fell to BCU 64-50, dropping to 4-12 overall and 1-9 at A10 play. Yeah, it's been a rough season. It's the Colonials' 5th straight loss. You know, after a cold start in the first quarter for both teams, in which GW shot 5 of 16 from the field, and VCU shot 3 of 12. GW held a 11-7 lead over VCU after the first period, but it didn't last long. VCU exploded in the second quarter, outscoring the Colonials 19-9 to take a 26-20 lead at the half. VCU won trail again as they won their third game in a row. For GW, 6'4" freshman center Ali Brigham continued her impressive freshman season, posting 18 points and 5 rebounds and 4 blocks on 9 of 14 shooting from the field. Redshirt junior guard Gabby I ain't even gonna try to pronounce that. Gabby added 11 points and 6 rebounds, while grad student Jasmine Whitney posted 9 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals to lead GW. VCU was led by senior guard Tyler Robinson, who finished with the team high 17.7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals on 7 of 15 shooting from the field and 3 of 7 shooting from deep. Freshman point guard Sarah Tebiaso scored 16 points on 6 of 9 shooting from the field and 3 of 5 shooting from 3-point range. And 6'3" sophomore center Chloe Bloom posted 13 points and 5 rebounds on 6 of 7 shooting from the field. The athleticism was the difference between both teams. I know people may not be used to saying that when you obviously high-level basketball Division I on the NBA, WNBA, but it looked like VC was moving at a different speed. They blew by GW defenders at will, got to their spot, and elevated shot jumpers before GW guards can really recover the contest. They got to their spots off the bounce and either hit mid-range jumpers or found other shooters outside 3-point range who were efficient knocking down those. Defensively, they sped GW up and forced them into tough shots or turnovers. GW will next face 10-5 UMass Friday at 5 p.m. on ESPN Plus, and VCU will host 6-7 Davidson Friday at 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus as well.
You're on mute.
I knew it was going to happen once. But last week, talking to y'all about Maryland women's basketball, it just come off the loss of Ohio State on the road. Ohio State and knocked off Michigan and then Maryland back-to-back. So, the Terps were kind of seething after that loss. And that's kind of what you want a team to do is bounce back. And they did just that, beat Michigan State 92-52. It was Brenda Freeze's 498th win of her Maryland career. Ashley Owusu and Diamond Miller had 20 apiece. But this was really just about their relentlessness on the defensive end. Much of what was missing outside of the last 2 minutes against Ohio State, Michigan State ended up dealing with Maryland's defense on full tilt from opening tip into the end. Started the game off on a 17-0 run. They forced Michigan State into 24 turnovers for the game, got out in transition, took better care of the ball, efficient in the half court. Coach Freeze stated it was one of the most dominating performances to date following the game. She also stated that she loved the response from Diamond Miller, who wasn't her regular self. The Mondays lost to the Buckeyes, and she made her presence felt on both ends often in this one. Maryland native Nia Clouden led the Spartans with 15 points in this game, and clearly Maryland had her at, when they played the first time, Clouden had 32. So, she was at the top of the scouting report last time. This time, Brenda must have put a couple asterisks next to it because they keyed in. But up next, Maryland's going to host Wisconsin on Thursday. Some additional news: Ashley Owusu was named Big Ten Player of the Week, averaging 26.5 points per game, 7 assists, 3.5 rebounds per contest. In addition to that, Owusu has been named one of 10 finalists for the Ann Myers Drysdale Award. The annual award, in its 4th year, recognizes the top shooting guard in women's NCAA Division I college basketball. Owusu is the leading scorer and assist leader on the nation's #1 scoring team. Ashley's averaging 19 points, 5.4 assists, and 6.1 rebounds for the Terrapins. They're 12-2 on the year, 8-1 in their conference. She's number 6 in the Big Ten in scoring, number 4 in assists, number 10 in free throw percentage, and number 13 in field goal percentage. As a team, the Terps are averaging the nation's best 92 points per contest. Again, credit to her. She's had a huge year. The interesting thing to me was some of the lists she was left off at the beginning of the year and how she's going through something that Caitlin Clark's going through, where they don't know how to classify both of them, whether they're shooting guards or point guards, and depending on whoever's doing the voting, that classification either rules them out for some of these lists or not. But again, shout out to Ashley Owusu and the Terps for a good week. 9-4-50 breakdown. This week, Jamal Hayward for us chose to break down Tim Hardaway double between move and secondary options off it against. Again, it's breakdown of Tim Hardaway double between move and secondary options off of it, followed by our second break. You're watching the Focus TV, and we'll see you in just a bit.
Today we're going to break down Tim Hardaway and one of his favorite moves. Now you probably think it's this move. No. Another one that he utilizes, which most people don't talk about, to come down full speed and slow up. So that move was lethal. So we're going to break that move down today. Start with my right hand. Set the left foot out. Aggressive. As I set the left foot out, I'm going to start with my dribble. So, as I step my left foot out and I take that dribble, rocking my body side to side, okay? That side to side movement is going to get the defender to bite here or bite here, whichever hand you start with. So here's the move with a jump shot. Now, there's some talent that you can add to that. So, same move. Pace it. Pull up. Another move, another count. Set up. Couple different options that you have. But that double between, man, Tim Hardaway had that really good. Today we're going to break down Tim Hardaway and one of his favorite moves. Now you probably think it's this move. No. Another one that he utilizes, which most people don't talk about, to come down full speed and slow up. So that move was lethal. So we're going to break that move down today. Start with my right hand. Set the left foot out. aggressive. As I step the left foot out, I'm going to start with my dribble. Or, so, as I step my left foot out and I take that dribble, rocking my body side to side, okay? That side to side movement is going to get the defender to bite here or bite here, whichever hand you start with. So here's the move with a jump shot. Now, there's some talent that you can add to that. So, same move. Hesitate. Pull up. Another move, another count. Step forward. Couple different options that you have. But that double between, man, Tim Hardaway had that really good.
Welcome back to the Focus TV once again. Special thanks to Jamal Hayward for knocking out the 9-4-50 each and every week. We truly appreciate it. Cardell, you good over there, man?
They got Bertans called him Mello. I should say he feeling good about that.
Yep. It wasn't looking too good the last time I looked to my right.
Hey, man. We gonna come back, bro. All right, as promised, WNBA for you. Told you guys it kicked off. Man, there's a lot of names to go through, all right? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go through some of the names and we'll just talk about them. Talk about some of the fits, the ones that stand out the most. Here we go. De'Erica Hamby, she re-upped with the Las Vegas Aces. Epiphany Prince stays with Seattle. Diana Taurasi with Phoenix. Alicia Clark moves from Seattle to Washington. Kind of a big deal there. We got Alicia Gray. She stays with the Wings. Cheyenne Parker is with Atlanta. Jontel Lavender signs with the Fever. Natalie Achonwa to the Lynx. Kayla McBride to the Lynx. One of the ones we saw like in the weeks leading up, the days in the weeks leading up, and we knew about it, but again, we just want to make sure it's official. Candace Parker goes back home to Chicago. Chelsea Gray signs with the Aces. Shout out to Benijah Laney. Ray and I talked about her almost ad nauseum during during the WNBA bubble. Latoya Sanders officially back to Washington today. Erica Wheeler to the Sparks. Alyssa Thomas, they're not going to let her leave Connecticut at all. Danielle Robinson to the Fever. So with those names that were just shared, just want to ask you guys, what are some of the ones? I guess first of all, what did everybody think about Candace Parker? And then also Chelsea Gray, just what's going on with the Sparks? With those are two huge pieces kind of leaving that building. Ray, I guess we'll start with you, then Octavia, and then Cardell.
Yeah, man, they got some figuring to do from where I sit, and they lost their the starting point guard and their cornerstone franchise player. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is. Candace Parker, you can kind of understand. This is her first time, being in this type of position with the new CBA and everything. So, playing at home, possibly to end out your career, and Chicago, they're in the space to be really competitive. You can kind of understand that, but the Chelsea Gray thing, I'm not sure what the reasoning behind that is. Maybe they they feel like they found something with Ted Cooper. She did play extremely well last season, but she's not. With all due respect to her, she's not going to be able to fill that void immediately. So, so they, for to be one of the one of the top tier franchises of the league. They kind of got some work to do to make up ground here a little bit, and then I know Wilson, me and you talked about Christy Tolliver and how this might affect her. Maybe she just says, I'm good, because the team she came there to play with is, basically not there anymore. So yeah, man, I don't know what's going on with that situation, but I mean, they're professionals there. They'll figure it out. I don't think they'll be starving to get people to come there. It's just a matter of, what pieces are available and what they can figure out. In terms of some other things, I definitely like Alicia Clark coming here, especially with Area Powers' departure. That's just Coach T doing Coach T things, man. He's one of the most brilliant guys in basketball. And I can't, I think it was you, Cardell, you tweeted, he doesn't rebuild, he just retools. So yeah, man, I wasn't surprised. Like I knew he had something up his sleeve. So yeah, man, it's probably gonna be a lot more fireworks to fly in the coming days in regards to free agency and whole. But it's been a good haul, for the second round for this new CBA. It's nice to see these pieces moving and WNBA free agency becoming a thing. That people want to talk about, because it is exciting. With it being just a 12-team league, one piece moving can change a whole lot. So it's definitely some things to keep an eye on.
All right, Octavia.
Yeah, so I mean, basically everything Ray said, I definitely agree with. Like the Candace Parker move, kind of for me, it caught me off guard, but it makes sense. She is getting towards the quote unquote twilight years of her career, but she's still definitely one of the best in the game, being Defensive Player of the Year last year. And she is the LA Sparks. When you think about the Sparks, being with the same team that drafted her back in 2008, 2009, and being there that entire time, and now taking her talents elsewhere and maybe moving closer to home, back with family and stuff. So I'm really excited to see how that works out, and especially to see what the Sparks do to replace that, because it's hard to replace somebody like that, a franchise player for them that's been there this entire time. And another, like you talked about, Alicia Clark, I think that's a great pickup. And just hearing Thibault talk about how he has been basically having his eye on her for a while and trying to get her to the Mystics in previous years, but the Seattle Storm didn't agree to it. And to see that he finally got it done, I only expect great things, because like Ray also said, Thibault has a brilliant basketball mind, and I'm just excited to see what he puts together, for the season coming up. I'm really, especially because, I feel like they did very, very well last year, the Mystics, for what they had, with Deladon not playing and, certain people not being there due to the virus. And they didn't really, in my opinion, get to really defend their crown. So I'm really looking forward to see how everything shapes up for them this season coming up.
All right, Cardell, your thoughts on, Candace Parker news and free agency as a whole to this point?
I mean, she went home. You know what I'm saying? She's still a high level player. But with people, Chicago's just one of those teams that last year weren't the sexy team. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people didn't pay attention to them, but they're a problem. And now that they add her, they're in contention. It's as simple as that. You still got Hibbert that up front. You got Copper. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Shield's still there, and of course that backcourt. That backcourt is like the WNBA version of Steph and Clay. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you got the assist queen. You know what I mean? And Vandersloot, Quigley, both of them snipers. So with Candace was pretty much 1 through 5 in one player. With her versatility, what she's going to bring, it's just going to be sick, man. You still got Williams there. Azura Stevens still there, or did she get picked up?
Yeah. Nah, Azure still there. Yeah.
She's still there as of now. Yeah.
That's yeah. See what I'm saying? Like they're loaded, man. So that puts them getting Parker, puts them in championship contention. You know, so you got to pay attention to that. I love what Alicia Clark coming here. She's pretty much the best defender in the NBA, but she's more than that. She can score. She just plays a role. But if you give her the rock and tell her to get a bucket, she can do that. And I like the fact that she said she's about to work on her 3-point shooting or whatnot. And when I mean best defender in the game, she's not just limited to perimeter. She'll go down there with 5s and win the matchup. Like she literally can guard 1 through 5. So adding her with Tina, with Deladon, Meesman, and then Ariel, Cloud, like Ariel, Cloud, and now with Clark. Oh man, I feel for opposing teams offensively. Like it's gonna be hell. Like 94 feet, you're gonna be bothered. When you cross half court, they're gonna be on you. When they send traps on people, it's gonna be bothered. What do you want? All Deladon, like I said to you, Wilson, the other day, all Deladon need to do is just run 3-point line to 3-point line. You ain't even really got to defend. Because if you manage to get past those 3 and get a shot up, Tina's cleaning up everything. You see what I'm saying? So Deladon just get buckets. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even, and she's a solid defender. She's gotten better at that. And then you coming in with Sanders, Meesman, Kieran Leslie, man. It's just that, hopefully COVID don't mess things up. But yeah, we want to. Hopefully, we're in the building to see them go back for their crown. Because Seattle, I'm pretty sure they feel the same Mystics one. People got injured, Sue Bird and all them. They didn't have a legit shot to defend their title. So let's say Seattle got 2 of the last 3. The Mystics got 1. Let's get that matchup we was waiting for the last couple of years. So see what happens.
Yeah, like Ray said, I'm excited to see what still falls. What's still to happen in free agency. Obviously, love Alyssa Thomas staying in Connecticut. I don't think that was a shocker at all. Love Benaja Laney going to the Liberty. She's good on both ends of the floor. She worked so hard on her game that she's a bucket. Be a great addition to a young team. We already know that Cheryl's over there in the lab with Minnesota, just adding pieces to make keep Big Sill's window open. Fees is getting help. The type of help that like crazy help now. And just to kind of, double down on Alicia Clark here, man. Washington and how they move the ball and everything else. I think one of the biggest things, they took a jump in her efficiency on the offensive end. She led the league in 3-point field goal percentage at 52%. That was in Seattle, where they got a lot of people you got to deal with. Washington's comparable offensively in terms of the type of firepower, and that ball moves and it flies everywhere. She shot 52%. So you're adding another you're adding another really good shooter to a team that doesn't have issues offensively. And like Cardell said, the depth and Seattle's still gonna be Seattle. They're gonna miss Alicia terribly. But they still got that 3-headed monster of their front line with the baby on the way in Ezzy. They got a lot of stuff going on. It's gonna be fun with the movement. Waiting to see how everything else shakes out. But Cardell, gonna pass it on to you to rapid fire. What we got tonight, man?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Maisha, and if they re-signed Tiana, yeah, it's gonna be real with the Mystics. NFL let me down, man, as usual. Eric Bieniemy. He's preparing for the Super Bowl, but he's still without an opportunity to become an NFL head coach. Bieniemy said Tuesday in the presser that he interviewed for 6 openings there, and none hired him. We all know what that's about. What will it take for not just him, but for minorities to get a legit shot? Because obviously the Rooney Rule is just a quota for NFL owners right now. They're not taking it serious. Start with you, Octavia.
I honestly don't know what else it's going to take. Like, all it should take is your track record and what you put out there and your successes And that's all it should be. It should be based off of the numbers. It should be based off of, what's a good fit for the actual team he's interviewing for. But I mean, I would have taken him. I'm still trying to figure out who the heck we hired. So yeah, exactly. I'm still trying to figure out who we hired. I'm like, who is this? Please tell me you saw the press conference, or at least a clip from the press conference, because he don't know what he's talking about anyway. So that's what I mean. Like, I honestly do not know. I don't know what else somebody has to do. Somebody who has been co-signed from one of the greatest coaches ever of Andy Reid, and we already know the fruits of the Andy Reid tree of all of the coaches that have come from underneath him and have branched out and become head coaches in the league. So I honestly don't know what else they're supposed to do, besides, like you said, interview. Like, it has to go above it. It has to be something more than this Rooney Rule, because like you said, it's not working. Everybody is just doing it to say they did it, and it's not changing anything. So, I mean, I hate to sound like a Debbie Downer. I always like to have like some type of plan to fix the issue, but like, I honestly don't know what else we could possibly do outside of holding a gun to somebody's head. Like, hey, bro, like, I'm the best for the job. Like, I don't know what else they're supposed to do. And I can understand them being frustrated, because we're frustrated looking on the outside, from the outside looking in. I can imagine interviewing for 6 different positions and not getting a look for any of them, coming off of winning a Super Bowl last year and going back to a Super Bowl again. I don't know.
I know I was listening to Deion Sanders, and he said what a lot of people don't realize is the owners and front offices, they don't even really vex themselves, like look for candidates themselves. What they do is they hire firms to go out and search for candidates, and whatever list they get back from these hiring firms or whatever, that's who they interview. And most of these guys, let's be real, us coming up through the ranks, to more blacks, we don't have those type of ties to these hiring firms. We don't know people at these hiring firms and stuff. And that's the thing I think a lot of fans aren't aware of. It doesn't just happen in the field. It's like that in college basketball. It's like that. Like, you gotta be connected to that. It's who you know. And if you don't know those people, you don't have a chance, no matter how good you are with the NFL. So that's what it is. So they just hire a couple they bring in a couple minorities, like I said, to meet the quota for the Rooney Rule, so they won't get in trouble. But really, they're looking at that paper, whatever name's on that paper, they're going with it. So I think that's another BS obstacle we got a little more into, because I think that's what's hurting a lot of black coaches from getting real opportunities and chances. But go ahead, Raymond.
Yeah, man, it's honestly embarrassing at this point. Yeah, man, that's a good little nugget you just provided as well, because I don't think a lot of people truly understand what goes into their process. But at the end of the day, you got to willingly miss on a guy like Eric Bieniemy at this point. Whether you hire a firm or not, you know who he is and you know what he's capable of. He should be high on everybody's list. So if you hire a firm to do that job and they come back with a list that doesn't include him, then if you want the best for your football team, you should be like, yeah, no, y'all not doing your job properly. Go back into the field and grab this guy. So I don't know, man. It's just, like you said, Cardell, it's just some more nonsense we got to fight through. But hopefully he gets his shot soon, because he's gone beyond putting in the work at this point. He's one of the best in the game, and he needs to be leading the team. So, and again, if people want the Chiefs to stop winning, go ahead and hire that dude.
Take him away simple, from him. Man. Yeah,
right. It's so easy. Like,
I hope
I hope I'm
right,
back.
Man. Like I don't understand, man. It's that easy. You want to you you want to prepare to face Patrick Mahomes with that dude behind him and Andy Reid? What's the easiest one to remove from that situation? Do yourself a favor, man. like, come on, but it's we all know it's we all know it's a whole lot of extra business that goes into these qualified and proven black coordinators not getting these jobs, but that's not a football thing. That's just a life thing. So and I know those guys are going through it and they're frustrated. And it's something they really shouldn't be having to deal with at this level. But, just want them to keep plugging away. And, hopefully at some point this thing will turn as to where people get wise. And it's like we're not even asking for them to do them a favor in the name of justice and goodwill. They're literally the best at what they do. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, so just go ahead and hire them, man. Like, unless you want your team to continue to suck, then that's fine too. But, I do want to see these guys, move to that next level, get compensated at the next level and just progress in their careers. So yeah, hopefully people will wise up sooner or later.
All the things that you guys named, and even with the search firms, like you had an example, like with Houston. I don't remember if Bieniemy was one of the minority candidates on the search firm, but they came back where the top 4 guys were minorities, and Houston was just like, I mean, that's cool, but nah. So they literally spent money for a search firm and was like, I mean, we appreciate your insight, but we didn't go hire the dude we tried to hire last year. So why did you go through the sham of hiring a search firm? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. So you literally threw like $500,000 down the drain for the sake of hiring a search firm. It was like, I appreciate your suggestion, but we're good. Huh? And then one of the other things that needs to change with it, and when I say media, obviously, not talking about us here, but this is a whole, it's interesting how coaches are covered. Like, white coaches, position coaches that don't have, like, all I saw like the past month is, they didn't call plays. Man, stop it. 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 So what? So what? There's way worse. Dan Campbell went from player, quality control coach, tight end coach, to head coach. How, Sway? Right? I'm just saying, like, even if we want to play pretend, like, it doesn't add up. It hasn't added up. And unfortunately, I think one of the things that might, at least cause a divot, but it shouldn't need to happen, is if Houston and what's going on with Deshaun wows out and he sticks to his guns, yeah, something might happen then, but it shouldn't take something like that. Because it's ridiculous that they're even in this situation when all you had to do is, actually, I don't know, do your job and openly interview the candidates that were available. That's all you got to do. You got Detroit. They got a new head coach. Man, y'all told me Jim Caldwell was horrible. He was the last dude that they had where they were over 500. Look at the Lions now, just first round pick after first round pick. Then, the dudes play their 4 years, they force their way out of town and they go be successful somewhere else. And this is for so many teams across the league. It's just ridiculous at this point, like Ray said. But no, I don't anticipate a change until maybe some of the faces change in ownership. Maybe that, but nah, man, they're gonna do what they do best.
You mean when they die off? Because that's when it seems like they're gonna give up control and that's they fade. Yeah, I got you.
They gotta go.
I'm not trying to be mean. Like honestly, what I believe in my heart of hearts, unless I would be surprised if somebody actually hires Eric Bieniemy, right? What I truly believe is going to happen is Andy Reid is going to pull a Jim Calhoun, and I'm good. Here's the best candidate in the building. Giggity. Let's go. Yeah. Hey. That's what I believe is going to happen. Then y'all going to be more mad because that's spent up. And in fact, Pat going to have his dude for the next 15. And kudos to y'all because you could have hired this man already. The chain would have been broken. You would have had an opportunity. Now you're just letting that stuff stir in that pot in Kansas City. Congratulations to you all. Good job, guys. You guys are winners. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Gotcha. Last question for rapid fire. I want to address this because I got hit up by a lot of area people about this. After the Warriors went over the Pistons on Saturday, we all know Detroit forward Rodney McGruder approached Golden State bench area. He was upset with something. Juan with Draymond called Juan T. Juan Toscano Anderson told. He was up with something he said, and he told Wayne Ellington something early in the game. So Magruder approached him, and Clay was on, doing sideline reporting, guest sideline reporting during the game. It was a little commotion, but it was nothing, just words exchanged, and then it was over. And, Clay watching said, I don't know, this dude might be out the league soon. He's probably mad about that. Who knows? He's over here trying to start something like he's a good player or something. It's like, bro, get out of here. You might be. Sorry, all right, we're done. He got off, and then they asked Draymond about it, and we all know Draymond does not hold back when he has something to say. Draymond said, I don't know. I was in the locker room, but apparently he was taking up for Wayne Ellington. When the F did Rodney McGruder become the tough guy? I don't know, man. Everybody in the league tough these days. It's crazy. I've seen a lot of tough guys this year. I don't understand it. And don't nobody do nothing. Like, if you really wanted to do something, you could have done it. Walk over there talking ish like he a tough guy. Get the hell out of here. Effing tough guy, Rodney. Tough guy. Also, I'm rocking with Juan T. Juan T was about to bring that town business ish out of him. Yeah, I'm rocking with Juan T on that one all the way. Also, I think it was something Juan said in the first or second quarter to Wayne Ellington. You got nothing better to do than just thinking of something from the first or second quarter when you weren't in the game. So apparently Wayne Ellington must have went over to the bench. I guess he went and told Magruder because he hadn't been in the game. Yeah, I don't know. There's too many tough guys in the league these days for me. I know no one's scared of no damn Rodney McGruder. Like, you effing kidding me? Insane, but Clay said it best. Clay said it best. Leave it at that. Now, word got back to Wayne Ellington, and Wayne Ellington he shared his frustration. Basically saying, yeah, man, I think I seen that junk is crazy. First of all, I think it's very unprofessional, definitely not classy for somebody to attack Rodney's professional career the way it was attacked. Rodney, I've known him since we played at Miami together with the Heat. He's one of the most hardworking, humble, down-to-earth guys that there is in this league. For somebody to attack him like that is very unfair. All this tough guy talking, all that stuff, Rodney has never tried to portray or act like a tough guy in this league. To be honest, the guy over there, Juan, is the one who started the whole thing. Rod is a man of respect like myself, and I felt he took offense to whatever the guy was saying to me in the first half. I just kind of laughed it off and kept on going. Obviously, it stuck with Rod, and as my brother, he took it upon himself to go and take the temperature on the situation. That's what men do. We talk to each other eye to eye, face to face. There's never been any type of tough guy approach with Rod. For Draymond to sit up and talk all that kind of crazy stuff behind a microphone, I think that's fake tough guy stuff, to be honest with you. I'm only going to talk about that situation once and then put it behind us. I think it's unfair for those guys to attack my man like that. I appreciate Rod, and I love him like a brother for whatever he did do that I know wasn't tough guy stuff. He just probably walked over there and tried to clear the air with the guy. So what are your thoughts on the situation? We're going to start – go ahead, Octavia. We're going to start with you.
First of all, I think the whole thing is hilarious. Honestly, it's just hilarious. Like, all of this is stupid, and it's just hilarious. I was done when Draymond said, like, who is scared of Rodney McGruder? Like, it was the way he said it that kind of like made me chuckle really bad. It was funny. I didn't hear about this part about Ellington like sticking up for him. I kind of give him credit for sticking up, but then I don't. Because I mean, if that's his man, like, I guess like his man, like, be really cool like that, I get it. But I mean, at the same time, like, these are your teammates. Like, y'all supposed to kind of stick together. But again, all of it is dumb. It's hilarious. I thought Klay Thompson was hilarious when he was doing his little color commentating or whatever he was doing. It was just funny. Like, and I knew Draymond would say that because Draymond always says that. Like you said, Draymond doesn't have cut cards for anybody. Like, he's going to say what he feels. And it's that. Regardless if it's true, if it's not, how you feel about it, I just get that feeling like that's just how he is. So all in all, I just thought it was hilarious. The whole thing's funny.
Yeah, man, it's a complete non-issue for me. I'm surprised it's still being talked about now. But yeah, me and you, Cardell, talked about this early offline. Like they just want to talk about everything except basketball. Like it wasn't even a dust up or nothing. Like just some guys exchanging words. You know, Clay said what he said. Draymond said what he said. You know, I'm not faulting Wayne Ellington for saying something back, but I don't. If this is the stuff that gets you bent out of shape, man, like I've seen way worse. Like, man, I was going to the Maryland Duke games when JJ Redick was playing, and that's probably the worst trash talking I've ever heard live. Like they used to destroy that man. So I don't know, man. Then people, Big Baby getting into it, talking about he see why Clay stay hurt because of saying something like that. Like, dog, mind your out the league business, man.
I was like, wait,
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like,
oh my god,
baby.
These guys are very sensitive these days.
Let me check.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, whatever, man. It wasn't anything to me. I found it funny, just like Octavia. But then when I woke up the next morning, it was still being talked about. I'm like, nothing else of note happened in the NBA last night that we still got to go through this. But you know, whatever, man. It is what it is. I don't know. And Clay was awesome. He definitely needs to move into the booth when he retires. Like I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Clay's commentating.
Hilarious.
But yeah, man, this is, like I don't know, man. If these are the things that are ruffling people's feathers, like where did you grow up? Like come on, man. But
we had a different time, man.
Yeah, I guess, but
just like we saw last night with a certain player I won't mention. Courtside Karen, yeah.
Oh my god.
She big man.
It's on you, Wilson.
Just look, insert any and every old man get off my lawn tweet. That's my response. Dog. Like, get off my lawn, bro. I don't care. Like, hold on. The menacing warriors bother you people this much? Go away. I'll see you that 5 years was like Thanos' reign. Y'all are wild. They bother you that much? That much? They didn't even do anything. It's what, like, if he was out there, it would have been a game. So let him say whatever. I don't care. Let him say whatever. Secondly, they talk. They've been talking this whole run. They were talking before they won championships. They talked while they were winning championships. Guess what? They're still talking. Why are y'all bothered, bruh? I just don't care. And secondly, media, how do y'all give this more attention than what they did in that 5-year run? Again, I'm not get off the lawn. I'm calling the police. Get off my lawn. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah. To piggyback off what you said, Raymond. I was going to the high school. I was going to the Maryland Duke games when Jay Will and all them was there. When it was real vicious. When they was throwing batteries at them during the game and stuff, and then after the game, they students fighting the police and stuff, and all that. Like, it was real doing that. It was real, but I mean, we just came up in a tougher time. I know the youngest don't like hearing that, and players don't like hearing that. It is. It's just you talking trash, fine. I mean, look who we grew up watching: the Jordans, the Reggie Millers. I mean, when Spike got out of line, he cooked the Knicks so bad he turned whole New York against Spike. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what you do. It's fun. Like, you don't trip off that. And at the end of the day, I got a lot of calls from local guys talking about, they mad at Raymond and Rodney McGruder, for people that knows from the area. So I went to Archbishop Carroll, then he transferred or whatnot. So he got local ties. He's from here, and I get it. But my thing is this: one, if you go stir up something with another team, then you got to deal with what comes with that. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, my college coach had it saying, "Don't be tough after the game. We got our ass whooped." Where was all that energy to prevent the ass whoop? You feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just like that. Yeah, you may not have liked what he said, but deal with it then. And then I can respect it more. And no, Ronnie's not that type of guy. When he do rah-rah, we know he's a pro. He did a hoop. You know what I'm saying? But that to me, that was just it was more on him, because it would have been nothing if he didn't go over there. They would have walked off the court about their business. So this was sparked by what he did. And of course, the war, you like y'all play ball, like, man, you come up in our team and our huddle talking, man, who you think you are? I don't care who you are, like, who you think you are. When you think you that big and bad, you think you could, are you serious? So yeah, you deal with what comes and stuff. Like, come on, man. And you guys had people forgotten they're 3-time champions. They're not worried about the real talk. They're not worried about Roddy McGruder. They trying to get back to that level. So all that extra stuff and all that, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. It's just I just don't like how like, Ronnie is a man. I don't like how they try to portray him as the victim when he went over there and started it. It ain't like they just ganged up on him talking about the Pistons and they just happened to throw his name out there. It was a situation he sparked, and they got back at him. All right, no punches were thrown or anything. That's what happens when you talk a game or you initiate something. You open up Pandora's box. So what's the problem? And my thing is, if he wasn't for the area where people had cared, and I'm like, Draymond, look, man, Draymond talks a lot. He's not a soft dude. He's not a soft dude, man. Like, he fights back. He'll push you back. He'll do all that. Is he Charles Oakley? Not saying that. But he ain't a soft dude. That's his role. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say that. We know Clay ain't soft. I mean, damn, what the hell? He blew out his Achilles, came back and shot 2 free throws in the finals, and he didn't even want to leave. I mean, well, he tore his ACL. So you a dog if you're doing that. You know what I mean? Like, don't even play that ever do that was what, Kobe? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, like, it's just I just wanted to address that with y'all because I got more than a few texts from local guys like, man, Draymond sucker for that, Joe. You know, the same dudes that be talking trash about NBA players and stuff like that got an issue with Draymond and the NBA players talking. Like, that's just wild to me. And for former NBA players to try to go at Clay and Draymond and stuff like that because they got at him for coming over there trying to get in one of their young boys on their team and stuff like that. I mean, y'all need to back off. Like what you were saying about Big Baby or whatnot. Y'all wonder why the old dudes be talking so much, the legends of the game. Y'all wonder why they be throwing darts. Look at this. You see what I'm saying? Then on top of that, Big Baby, you did that over social media. I know, like, if you really had those feelings, man, where's the phone? Like, this social media courage got to stop. Like, if I got problems with you, I'm gonna just call you or text you. It ain't gonna keep going over social media. That's just me. So, I say what I had to say, man. It is what it is.
Get off my lawn. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget, with Wizards games every couple of days, Wizards Outlook following the game, give or take 15, 20 minutes. So that means, later on tonight, we will see some of you guys this evening. But before we get off, just want to mention, DC United announced yesterday that midfielder Paul Areola will be joining Swansea City AFC in the English Football League. That's the EFL Championship on a loan until the end of the 2020-2021 championship season. Swansea City AFC are currently in second place in the EFL Championship as they push for promotion to the EPL, the English Premier League, next season. DC United have the option to recall Areola before the primary MLS transfer window closes on May 4th of this year. There's no option to buy Areola in the loan agreement. But shout out to him, man. That's big. He tore his ACL a year ago, came back. And to get over into, the second division, the English League, with the opportunity to help a team get into the EPL, man, that's great. I wish him the best. He's been acting a fool for the U.S. National team and some of these friendlies. So shout out to him for that. And then don't forget to catch our show every Friday at 10 p.m. on DCTV. Appreciate you guys. See y'all soon.